Has life ever slammed a door in your face? No warning, no explanation, just silence and distance. It hurts at first, but sometimes what feels like rejection is actually redirection. Today, we're not here to talk about how to avoid rejection. We're here to learn how to use it, to turn every no into a deeper yes to ourselves. And guiding us on this path, not a motivational speaker, not a best-selling author, but a Roman emperor, Marcus Aurelius, a man who faced betrayal, loneliness, and pressure beyond imagination, yet remained calm, grounded, and deeply wise. Imagine a world where rejection doesn't knock you down, but lifts you up, where being ignored doesn't shrink you, but sharpens you. That world isn't imaginary. It starts the moment you stop chasing validation and start building value from within. In this video, I'll share 13 powerful lessons, not just philosophical ideas, but real strategies you can live by. Tools forged by silence, refined through hardship, and proven by time. And if this speaks to you even a little, consider sharing it. Like subscribe, hit that bell. Let's make wisdom louder than noise. Ready? Let's begin the journey of turning every rejection into your greatest rise. When someone chooses to overlook you, don't chase. Don't explain. Don't beg for space in a heart or a room that can't see your worth. Let them look the other way. You, look forward. Their silence doesn't define you. Their distance doesn't diminish you. What it really reveals is who they are, not who you are. So don't let it pull you into a spiral of overthinking. Don't waste your fire trying to warm those who turn cold. Instead, redirect that energy. Build something. Learn something. Laugh with people who actually show up. Grow quietly, without apology. You don't need to make a statement. Your absence from their world will say more than any reaction ever could. Ignore them, not out of pride, but out of peace. Because the moment you stop proving your value to those who can't see it is the moment you begin truly living it. Rejection stings. We're human, it's okay to feel that. But what you do next, that's where strength begins. When someone brushes you off, it's tempting to react, to fire back, to demand answers. But the wisest response is often the quietest one. Breathe, pause, choose your reaction. Don't be owned by it. You don't need to perform your pain. You don't need to prove your hurt to validate that it mattered. Stoicism doesn't ask you to suppress your emotions. It teaches you to own them without letting them own you. Ask yourself, why does this bother me so much? What part of me feels threatened? You'll often find it's not about them. It's about something inside you asking to be healed. So yes, feel, but feel with awareness. Respond from clarity, not chaos. Reach out if you must, but do it from peace, not panic. Your power lies in stillness, in knowing that your worth remains untouched, no matter how someone else chooses to see or not see you. When you master that, you don't just survive rejection, you rise through it. They left, maybe not with a goodbye, but with silence, distance, or a door quietly closed behind them. And yet, they still echo in your thoughts, rent-free. It's time to change that. Letting go doesn't mean pretending it didn't hurt. It means choosing not to stay stuck in what already ended. Feel it, acknowledge it, but don't build a home in it. Your mind is sacred ground. Don't let their absence take up more space than their presence ever deserved. So how do you move forward? Step into new experiences, not to escape, but to expand. Read something that stretches you. Try something that scares you a little. Spend time with people who make you feel seen, not small. These aren't distractions. They're reminders that there is more to you, much more, than the chapter that just ended. Rejection isn't the end. It's redirection. And with every step away from the past, you step closer to a version of yourself that's freer, fuller, and far more alive. Let them go. Not with anger, with understanding that your mind is a garden and you choose what grows there. When someone overlooks you, resists you, or counts you out, don't lower yourself to convince them otherwise. Just keep building. Your value doesn't decrease when someone fails to recognize it. It simply waits for you to direct it where it matters more. Got passed over for a job? Deliver excellence where you are. Got ignored in the room? Master your craft until your presence becomes impossible to ignore. Let your actions do the talking. Let your results speak volumes. Let your growth become so undeniable that explanations are no longer needed. You're not here to prove anyone wrong. You're here to prove yourself right. about who you are and what you're capable of becoming. Rejection isn't a judgment, it's a redirection. Sometimes the no is simply the universe saying, not here, not yet, there's something better, something truer, keep going. So don't get bitter, get sharper. Don't seek validation, become your own evidence, because one day, without ever raising your voice or defending your worth, you'll walk into a room and they'll know. When someone pulls away, your instincts may scream, reach out, fix it. Don't let it slip away, but not everything that breaks is meant to be repaired, and not every silence deserves to be filled. Sometimes the strongest move is no move at all. Step back, cut contact, let the space breathe, not because you're angry, not because you want to play games, but because your energy is sacred and it shouldn't be poured into places where it's no longer met. Use this silence. Let it become your reset, a chance to recenter, to remember who you are when no one else is defining you. This isn't pettiness, it's clarity. You're not abandoning anyone. You're simply choosing yourself over chasing something that refuses to choose you. In a world addicted to instant replies and constant noise, your silence becomes powerful. It says, I don't chase, I don't cling. I know my value, and I'll wait for what honors it. So unplug with grace. Not to close the door on them, but to finally open the one back to yourself. When someone doubts you, it's tempting to make it your mission to prove them wrong. But here's the truth. You don't owe anyone a performance. Your worth isn't a debate. Your potential isn't a courtroom. You don't need applause, approval, or attention to validate your rise. So let them underestimate you. Let them think you can't. Then go do it anyway. Not for them, but for you. Refine your skill. Deepen your discipline. Build quietly. Evolve consistently. Until one day, what once seemed impossible becomes your new normal. And when it happens, you won't need to announce it. The results will whisper everything they refuse to hear. This isn't revenge. This is revelation. It's not about making them regret. It's about becoming someone you respect when you look in the mirror. Because the real victory isn't changing how others see you. It's transforming how you see yourself. So don't chase vindication, chase growth. And in doing so, you'll leave no doubt. Not in their minds, but in your own. Rejection has a way of making us small. It whispers, stay in, hide, replay every moment. But that voice is not your guide, it's your cage. So step outside, not to pretend you're fine, but to remember that you're alive. Not to run from the pain, but to give it a softer place to sit. Try something new. Pick up that forgotten hobby. Meet up with people who make you laugh without effort. Joy doesn't erase hurt, but it reminds you there's more to your life than one closed door. You're not betraying your healing by choosing happiness. You're supporting it. Because fun isn't foolish, it's fuel. It pulls you out of your head and back into the world. It says, yes, you were hurt, but look, you're still here, still capable of wonder. So don't wait to feel ready. Go anyway. Let the sunlight touch your skin. Let laughter loosen what pain tried to tighten. Let joy come, not as a performance, but as a quiet rebellion. You're not escaping the pain, you're expanding beyond it. Being overlooked can make you question your place in the world. You walk into a room and feel invisible. But what if that invisibility isn't a curse? It's your clean slate. This isn't about climbing some artificial social ladder. It's about rising within yourself so that the life you build reflects your values, not your need for attention. Start small. Strengthen your body, sharpen your mind, deepen your character. Pursue things that stretch you, not to impress, but to grow. And as you grow, connect, not by showing off, but by showing up, authentically. Share your passions, listen with presence, give without needing to be seen. Your reputation won't be built by how loudly you speak. It'll be built in how quietly consistent you are. You don't need a spotlight. You need direction, discipline, and people who see your light even when you're not trying to shine. So build your life, not for applause, but for alignment. Not to be admired, but to be anchored. Because the highest status is peace within yourself. You don't have to hate someone to let them go. You don't need revenge. You don't need closure. Sometimes the most powerful move is quiet detachment. If someone keeps ignoring you, dismissing you, devaluing you, let them. You're not here to chase attention. You're here to protect your peace. In a group setting, shift your focus. Talk to people who see you, hear you, meet you where you are. Your presence isn't a plea, it's a gift. Offer it wisely. And when interaction is unavoidable, keep it respectful but distant. No drama, no digs, just clean, clear boundaries. You're not cold, you're centered. If the disregard continues, walk away. Not as a reaction, but as a redirection. Your energy is currency. Don't spend it where it's not respected. They don't need to know you've moved on. You'll know. And that's enough. Because real strength isn't in cutting someone out of your life with rage. It's in quietly choosing not to let them live in your mind anymore. Silence isn't a weapon. It's not a way to win or punish. True silence, the kind rooted in self-respect, is something far more powerful. It's clarity. It's control. It's coming home to yourself. When someone pulls away, don't rush to fill the space. Let it be quiet. Let it echo. Let it show you what matters and what doesn't. This silence isn't cold. It's conscious. It's a pause to hear your own voice again, after all the noise. It's space to ask, what am I feeling? What am I learning? What do I actually need right now? You're not avoiding the discomfort. You're sitting with it, gently, firmly, like someone who refuses to abandon themselves. Because the silence you keep isn't between you and them. It's between who you were and who you're becoming. And when you stay silent, not to manipulate, but to reflect, you're not ignoring them. You're listening to you. That's not passive. That's powerful. When someone pulls away, it's easy to want to be noticed, to try harder, speak louder, shine brighter, just to earn a glance. But attention that has to be begged for is never real. And love that has to be chased will always outrun you. So instead of asking, why aren't they seeing me? Ask, why am I making their gaze more important than my own growth? Redirect the energy, not to impress, but to become. Pour it into your work, your health, your passion. Do things that make you proud to be yourself, even if no one claps. Because the deepest confidence doesn't come from being chosen. It comes from choosing yourself. Every day, in quiet ways that no one else may ever see. Let your life be so full, so grounded, so meaningful, that you no longer crave to be in anyone's spotlight. You'll be the light. And the people who are meant for you, they'll feel it. Not because you demanded their attention, but because you no longer needed it. Just because someone hurts you doesn't mean you have to hurt them back. You don't need to be rude, bitter, or cold to protect yourself. You just need boundaries. Be kind. Smile. Say hello. But don't confuse kindness with openness. Not everyone deserves access to the deeper parts of you. Emotional distance doesn't mean you're numb. It means you're wise. It's knowing that your peace is precious and not every connection is worth reopening old wounds. Stoicism teaches us to control what we can, our actions, our words, our focus. And that includes choosing how close someone gets to our emotional core. So yes, be polite, but don't perform. Yes, be decent, but don't carry weight that isn't yours. Let your heart be soft, but your boundaries be firm. Because the strongest people aren't the ones who build walls. They're the ones who open the door slowly, and only to those who knock with respect. Kindness is your choice. Distance is your strength. Use both. You don't need to broadcast your pain to prove it's real. You don't need to bleed in public to show that you're healing. Some battles are meant to be fought in silence, not because they're small, but because they're sacred. When life hits you hard, let your strength speak louder than your suffering. Move forward with the same quiet focus, the same steady rhythm. Not to pretend nothing's wrong, but to remind yourself that you are bigger than this moment. Stoicism teaches us you are not your circumstances. You are your response, your discipline, your grace under pressure. So yes, feel it, own it, but let your growth happen in the background. Not for applause, not for sympathy, but for your own evolution. Let your healing be private. Let your power build slowly. Let your presence return, calmer, deeper, unshaken. Because true strength doesn't need a spotlight. it leaves an echo. We've walked through 13 quiet revolutions, ways to turn rejection, silence, and indifference into something far greater: self-respect, resilience, and clarity. Not by fighting harder, not by begging to be seen, but by standing still, rooted in who you are, even when the world turns its back. Let every no remind you to say yes to yourself. Let every door that closes become a mirror that shows you who's still standing. You don't need to be louder. You need to be deeper. You don't need more attention. You need more alignment. So take these lessons into your life, not as theories, but as choices, daily, quietly, relentlessly. And if this message stirred something in you, share it. Leave a word in the comments, just one: resilient. To let the world know you've chosen growth over bitterness, stillness over drama, strength over noise, because this isn't about rejection anymore. It's about returning to yourself. And that is where real power begins.